Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos otra vez a Kingdom Come Deliverance. Estamos en la ciudad de Rataje. Como vimos en el anterior vídeo, habíamos hecho nuestra primera misión, que era intentar recuperar un anillo de un cadáver enterrado para el molinero y así pagar nuestras deudas por habernos curado. Pero no encontramos el anillo y después estuvimos haciendo negocios por la ciudad, con la cual obtuvimos nuestras primeras monedas. Así que ahora que tenemos algo de efectivo, vamos a seguir haciendo misiones. Creo que es una buena oportunidad para ir a ver a Sir Radzig y después ya hablaremos con el molinero. De hecho, ¿cómo vamos? Vale, estoy en 85-92. De momento vamos bien. Si Radzig está en el castillo pequeño, que es este que está aquí junto a los refugiados de Skalice. Así que vamos a ver, es que nos viene de camino pasar a ver a Sir Radzig. Seguramente nos meterá bronca por habernos escapado de Talmberk, pero en fin, vamos a ver. Lo que no sé es dónde estará exactamente.
Could that be the smith's son, Hal?
On my soul, it is him. What are you doing here, lad? We thought you were done for.
Hombre, mira, son los soldados que había en el castillo. A ver, vamos a darles un poco de conversación.
And why, for God's sake, did you go back there? Who else but cutthroats and bandits did you expect to find?
I needed to bury my parents.
Oh, I see. Your father fought like a lion. I'm sorry.
He saved my life.
And not just yours. He was a good man, and you did right to bury him.
I didn't even manage that. I failed to save him or put him to rest.
And just what could you have done at Skalice? If you tried to fight, the both of you will be dead. He gave his life for yours, Hal. So you'd better make good use of it.
You're right. And just what are you doing here?
Bueno, al menos son buena gente.
I must speak with Sir Radzig. Is he here?
He's in the palace with Sir Hanush of Rataje. They're feasting in the Knight's Hall. What do you want with him?
My father made him a sword. He asked me to deliver it to Sir Radzig.
I don't see any sword.
No. Bandits attacked me and stole it. I need to tell his lordship what happened. And then I'm going to find the sword.
Of course you are, Hal. Good luck.
Thanks.
Vale, dice que está en el salón. A ver, no sé si el salón está por aquí. Forzar muy difícil. Forzar muy difícil. Esto es zona privada. A ver. Y esto tiene pinta que también son los dormitorios del servicio. Así que no está en el piso de abajo. Tenemos que ir al piso de arriba. Hombre, aquí tenemos el cagadero. Sí. Sentarse. Sí, se ponían aquí dando el espectáculo y no tenían ningún problema. Así era la vida en la Edad Medieval. Un agujero ahí y a soltar toda la mercancía. Vamos a ver si este soldado nos ayuda. No, un guardia ahí no nos deja pasar. Esto parece también un sitio privado, pues estará en el último piso. Vamos a ver si conseguimos llegar de una vez.
Your Graces, I have to tell you in all seriousness that this land of ours is in the shit. Deep fucking shit. Don't you agree?
I might not have put it as eloquently as you, Hanush, but I've been driven out of my own castle, so I'm hardly going to disagree.
Indeed. But Birkstein is yours for as long as you need it. There's room enough for your men and you here at Rataje, and I'm sure my ward won't have any objection to me lending you his castle.
I'd be honored. Birkstein is at your disposal as long as you wish, Your Grace.
Just as well you have another castle at the other end of town, eh? At any rate, I'm beholden to you, Sir Hans, and to you, Sir Hanush.
I don't like to speak ill of your people, Sir Radzig, but, well, there's no love lost between the townsfolk and the refugees. There's been talk of criminality.
Well, they'll have to get used to it until the situation's resolved.
But when will it be resolved? And what on God's earth is this war even about? I won't lie, sir. I don't understand it.
You aren't alone, Father. I believe Sigismund's original intention was to persuade Wenceslas to accept the imperial crown and to leave the rule of Bohemia to him.
Who could blame him? I know Wenceslas is a friend of yours, Radzig, but even you have to admit he brought it upon himself.
I can't deny the king neglected affairs of state for other pursuits. There is a need for order in the land, but I don't think the lords who sided with Sigismund realized just what Hungarian order looks like.
Hungarian order.
What concerns me, sir, is how a good Christian could resort to such brutality.
To give him his due, I don't think he expected the lords of this country to stand behind the king. But thanks to him, we're tearing ourselves apart, and now he has to get things under control.
But why in God's name does he have to use those barbarians?
Money is the root of all evil, young sir. Wars are costly, and this one has dragged on for a year. Sigismund ran out of coin for knights, so he recruited those whore sons that settled in Hungary. The less he pays, the more they make up for it with plunder.
That's why he attacked us. He was after our silver.
What are you doing? You've no business here. Clear off.
Wait, it's Henry. Henry, who disappeared after I clearly ordered him to remain at Talmberk.
I'm sorry, sir, but I had to bury my parents.
Had to? Do you think you were the only man who lost someone there? But the others listened to their lord.
And it wasn't just your own life you nearly threw away. So Robard and his men risked theirs to save you.
I'm sorry, but I had to.
Oh, there you go. When you have to, Radzig.
Your father was a remarkable man, and your mother, she was remarkable too. They deserved a Christian burial. Did you manage that at least?
No. I was attacked by thieves. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for that girl.
Girl?
The miller's daughter, Teresa.
The miller's daughter saved you from the footpads? Well, there's a tale to tell your children.
I owe her my life. She distracted them and then brought me to Rataje. But without Sir Robard, we'd both be dead.
Oh, that's what I call a good woman. Hang on to that one, lad.
Still, it's a great shame your parents are buried in unconsecrated ground. That means purgatory for them.
Be quiet, friar. I didn't invite you here to eat me out of house and home and deliver a sermon while you were doing it.
If you're so concerned, Father, maybe you should save the innocent souls of these fine Christians yourself. Go to Skalice and consecrate their graves. I assure you, if you're killed by bandits, your soul will soar straight to heaven, as long as someone buries you in consecrated ground first.
If there's anything left to bury, that plump carcass of yours would be quite a feast for the wolves and the crows. And one skeleton looks much like another, so how would we know which were your ordained bones or those of Sigismund's Tartars?
Be that as it may, why have you come here?
I must get your sword back.
Sword? My sword hangs here at my side.
No, the sword my father forged for you. One of those thieves stole it from me.
They almost killed him and he already wants to go back.
Takes after his father, I suppose. Lad, I've lost a castle, a village, silver mines, and a good half of my subjects. Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
I understand. I'd feel the same way. But prudence is the better part of valor. and a dead man keeps no promises.
Aye. The woman had to save his fat from the fire, and now he wants revenge. What kind of fool are you, boy?
He's no fool. Henry, you have courage, but you need training, arms, a horse. Or do you mean to beat this thief at dice?
No, sir. Please, take me into your service and give me the chance to learn these things.
The gall of him. Fled from the enemy, disobeyed your orders, duped Sir Divish, lost your sword, put Sir Robard in danger with his actions, and now he wants a promotion.
Sir Capon's right.
What you say is certainly true, except for fleeing the enemy. You would have run as well, believe me. Henry's earned some punishment, but how do you punish someone who's already lost everything, Courage and blind obedience are good qualities for a soldier, but a wise man also appreciates loyalty, perseverance, and determination. Besides, that was a fine sword that his father made. If he thinks he can get it back, I won't turn it down.
My lord, he's a peasant. You can't make a squire of a peasant.
Why not? Someone made a priest of a pig.
He isn't a peasant, father, he's a blacksmith, and recent events have left me in need of his skills. So, you'd like to enter my service?
Sir, Yes, I would. You won't regret it.
Oh, I probably will. I'm doing this for your father, lad. Don't disappoint me.
Oh, fortune has finally smiled on you today, lad. Make the most of it.
Now that I think about it, Sir Hanush, the boy needs training and experience, and you need spear carriers.
That's true. The bailiff is always complaining about your people making trouble in the camp. Maybe one of their own among the guard might help.
It might. In any event, it will prove valuable experience.
But let's be clear. You're the one paying him. Captain Bernard, see to his training, and then send him to the bailiff.
Yes, sir.
And don't spare him.
You can rely on it, sir.
Don't forget, Henry. Don't disappoint me.
I won't, my lord.
Bueno, la verdad es que este diálogo ha sido bastante brutal. Me cae genial los dos Sir Radzig y Sir Hanush. Me ha molado mucho el diálogo. Vamos a ver, entrenar duro para luchar con facilidad. Vale, ir al campo de entrenamiento y hablar con el capitán Bernard. De acuerdo. A ver, tenemos algo más. Entrenar duro y lo del buen ladrón. Vale, estamos cerca del molino. Porque el campo de entrenamiento ya lo vimos cuando exploramos la ciudad. Está al otro lado de la ciudad, así que voy a ir a hablar primero con el molinero. Pero bueno, al menos ya nos hemos introducido a los nobles y vamos a empezar a tener entrenamiento para poder combatir bueno, de una manera más efectiva. Caramba, sí que está lejos cada vez que hay que hacer este camino. Está lejitos el molino, pero... En fin, vamos a ver si llegamos de una vez. Y bueno, a ver qué quiere hacer el molinero. Estoy pensando, voy a ponerme a correr. Que me estoy rayando ya con... Que también no sé si corriendo se sube... No sé si se sube la resistencia o algo así. Aquí tenemos al perrete otra vez. A ver, molinero.
Jesus Christ be praised.
No veo ningún anillo.
There was a corpse in the grave, but no ring. What the fuck is going on?
Easy, Hal. Hold your horses. If the ring wasn't on the corpse, the executioner must have taken it before he buried the body.
Oh, I can see where this is going. You want me to get the ring from the executioner?
Clever lad. Only I wouldn't recommend talking to him about it. He's a bit touchy on the subject of robbing the dead. It'd be better to pinch it from his house.
Vale. O sea, hay que entrar en casa del verdugo y robarle. No es que sea la mejor de las ideas.
And look here, Henry. Do you know how to get past a lock?
Get past a lock? You mean jemmy it off with a crowbar?
No, you don't. I mean the delicate, gentle art of opening it quietly and with sensitivity, like popping a young maiden's cherry.
Sí que sé forzar cerraduras porque ya lo he hecho en Talmberk, pero voy a decir que no. Así, para que me enseñe.
Fucking hell. How did I get landed with a cretin like you? I'll have to teach you then. Come with me. God be with you. Try unlocking this trunk. Hold the lockpick with your right hand and use it to feel out the tumble. In your left hand, you hold the blade and use it to turn the whole mechanism. Right. Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding the tumbler with the pick. Otherwise, you'll be fucked and you'll have to start all over.
Vale, es un poco lo que vimos en Talmberk. Tenemos que poner la bola amarilla o dorada aquí y entonces rotar y mantener la bola amarilla conectada. Ahí está, hasta hacer la rotación completa. Un snap retentor para mí. Vale, aquí puedo practicar lo que... ¿Cuántas ganzúas tengo? Toma, 22. ¿De dónde he sacado tantas ganzúas? Bueno, me las habrá dado el molinero, entiendo. Vale, pues con 22 ganzúas me parece que tengo suficiente. Uy, estoy en el otro lado del río. Vale, pues podemos, antes de ir al campo de entrenamiento, podemos intentar esta misión del verdugo. Lo que tendremos que pensar alguna manera de hacerle salir de la casa. Es una pena que me dejara mi caballo en Talmberk. Bueno, no era mi caballo, pero el que robé. Porque todo esto a caballo sería más rápido. Pero en fin. A ver si podemos volver en algún momento y recuperarlo. Vale, este es el camino que hice de noche en el anterior vídeo. Aquí se puede ver ya la casa de el verdugo. Y por aquí viene el camino. Perfecto. Vamos a ver, el problema es en hacerle salir. Vale, ahí lo tenemos. Voy a dialogar con él. A ver. Intentar sacarlo de la casa. Entrenamiento. Señor de los perros. Bueno, de momento no tenemos perro, así que...
Miller Peshek sent me. He's very sorry, but by mistake he didn't give you the full weight of flour last time. He says you should come and get the balance.
That rogue. How much is it?
Half a sack. That's nothing to sneeze at.
It certainly isn't. I'll go there right away.
Vale, pues ha sido más fácil de lo que me pensaba. Vale, se va hacia el molino, así que tenemos la oportunidad de colarnos en su casa. Mañana se celebrará el torneo en Rataje. Bueno, no estamos ahora mismo para torneos. A ver, forzar la cerradura. A ver, ¿dónde está? Vamos, no me falles. Perfecto. Vale, tenemos que ir rápido porque este hombre puede volver en cualquier momento. Bueno, aquí hay dinero. No sé si robar algo de dinero. Venga, vamos a robarle. Robaremos la mitad solo. A ver, aquí no está el anillo. Aquí no veo ningún baúl. Vale, aquí hay más. Ah, anillo de muerto, aquí lo tiene. Robar. ¿Por qué no me deja? Ahora. No. ¿Me ha pillado? Ah, no, no. Uf. Vale. Ta, 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 ta. Bueno, no hemos robado nada más. Por si las moscas, no queremos levantar sospechas. Y nos hemos quedado con 25... Bueno, no nos hemos quedado con 25, tenía 12 mías, pero nos hemos quedado con algo de dinero, tampoco le hemos desplumado. Pero que a nosotros nos va a venir muy bien ese dinerito. Así que tenemos lo que habíamos venido a buscar. De hecho, he subido de nivel, pero me parece... combate, habilidades. Forzar cerradura y en... ¿Cuál era el otro? Sigilo. Ah, este creo que ya viene activado por defecto, digo, no recuerdo haber activado esto. Bueno, pues tenemos la primera misión cumplida. Bueno, falta obviamente entregarle el paquete al molinero, aunque bueno, a lo mejor ahora el verdugo estará con él. No sé si lo del medio saco de harina nos va a meter bronca el molinero por haberle enviado ahí. Pero ahora que lo pienso también... la bronca que nos han metido Radzig y Janusz también ha sido divertida. Estoy pensando si ir a ver directamente al molinero porque si está ahí el verdugo no quiero cruzármelo. Creo que voy a aprovechar para explorar un poco esta zona que aún no la he visitado. A ver, esto es hierba de San Juan. Es otra planta que podemos recolectar. Y estas rojas son amapolas también. No se recoge un poco de todo para saber qué plantas puedo tener, cuáles no. Esta de aquí no es. Diente de león. La verdad es que están muy bien integradas, las plantas así recolectores. Mira, aquí hay un puente pequeño. Bueno, más o menos estamos por donde se va el verdugo. No sé si este personaje sabe nadar. Bueno, obviamente aquí no se va a ahogar, pero con un río grande. Bueno, lo que decía, está muy bien integrada todo lo que es el mundo fauna y flora. A ver, ¿qué tenemos por aquí? Parece un huerto. Bueno, no sé si es el mejor lugar para poner un huerto. A ver, no sé si podemos... No, estas plantas... Esto... No, estas plantas no podemos cogerlas, porque si no esto sería un festín aquí. De recoger hierbas. Nada interesante de momento. Ah, esto era lo que quería... A ver, cardo. Ah, estos son peces. Aquí tenemos una trampa. Y tenemos 2 truchas. Pues para mí. Nos servirán para... Podemos cocinarlas o venderlas. De hecho, podemos venir aquí. Y, a ver, cocinar objeto. Podemos cocinar las truchas. Porque si no estoy equivocado, a ver, comida. Tenemos la trucha. O sea, la trucha sin cocinar no podemos comérnosla. No nos da esa opción. Pero la trucha cocinada sí que la podemos comer. Entonces, bueno, estamos a 74. La otra trucha podríamos ir a venderla al mercado. Pero no sé si merece la pena porque tenemos que ir a pasar a ver al molinero. Así que no pasaremos por ahí. Vamos a cocinarla. Y bueno, ya está 99. O sea, le hemos sacado del agua hace nada. Y ya está 99. Para que se vea lo rápido que algunos alimentos se pudren. Ah, y este licor también podría venderlo. Me pueden dar buenas monedas. 101 de saciedad. Estoy un poco saturado ahora de comida, pero bueno, así después no tenemos que hacerlo. Y todo esto de aquí que es... Parece un campamento, pero... Dormir y guardar. Se puede dormir aquí, pero... Supongo... No sé si es de los refugiados. Bueno, si es de los refugiados creo que no habrá nada interesante. Dado las penurias por las que están pasando. A ver, ¿me decía algo? Ah, no, dormir y guardar también aquí, nada. Bueno, yo creo que ahora el verdugo ya se habrá ido. Así que vamos a ver si podemos hablar con el molinero y acabar la misión del anillo. A ver, voy a volver a correr para quemar esas grasas. Vale, respira, Henry, tranquilo. Vale, parece que el verdugo ya no está por aquí, así que podemos hablar tranquilamente con este hombre. A ver si así está contento y saldamos nuestra deuda. Tengo el anillo. Apostar en el torneo. Contadme más de los demás molineros. Contadme más de vos. A ver, vamos a por lo del anillo.
Good. Nice to know you're the sort of lad I can trust with a job like that. Now run with the ring to Wojciech, the miller in Kohelnitz. He'll have some work for you, and I'll have something for you soon too. A clever fellow like you will never want for work. At the very least, I'll buy risky goods from you. I mean the kind that used to belong to someone else and you can't sell to just anyone.
Vale, o sea que si robamos objetos, que lógicamente no nos los aceptarán en otros sitios, podemos venderlos al molinero. Vale.
You'll buy stolen goods from me. Oh, thanks for your trust. I'm sure that'll come in useful.
A ver, apostar en el torneo, de momento no. Vender cosas robadas. Creo que no tenemos nada robado de momento. Contadme más de los molineros.
There's a couple of other fellows around here in my trade. Wojciech in Kohelnitz and Simon in Sassa.
Tell me about Wojciech.
He's young and hot-blooded with a short temper. But he's a fine fellow when you get to know him. His heart's in the right place, and he's always willing to lend a helping hand. Unfortunately, he got himself into a feud with that usurer, the merchant Wolfram Pruder. A slimy bastard he is, and now they're sworn enemies.
Vale, Wojciech está enemistado con Wolfram Pruder.
What about this Simon in Sassa?
An odd one he is, a loner who don't talk much. But he's as dogged as a hunting hound once he gets his teeth into anything. He won't let go until he sees it through, even if he has to walk over dead bodies.
Vale, a ver, contadme más de vos.
Tell me something about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell. I was born at the mill, I live here, and I'll surely die here. But before I do, I've plenty of work to do, and I hope I live to see peace in this land again.
A ver, aquí me dice, me enseñaréis a robar bolsillos. Bueno, de momento aún no lo necesitamos, ya recurriremos a eso más adelante. A ver, ¿podéis decirme qué? ¿Cómo es el señor local?
What's the local lord like?
Sahanush? He treats his people well, but he's tough as an old oak. The way things are these days, I wouldn't wonder if he and his men started kicking some asses.
A ver, Hans.
What's the Hans Capon like?
Ah, that worthless dandy. So Hanush has to knock some sense into him, or I dread to think what will become of this place when he takes over.
Vale, este era el joven que estaba al lado de Hanush.
Do you know
el capitán.
the Rataje captain?
He's a grumpy bastard, but fair, I'd say.
Okay.
What about the Skalice folk?
God sent them to punish us for our sins. They don't work, they just idle around begging. And you want to keep a close eye on your belongings when they're around. I'll be glad to see the back of them.
Sí, esto es lo que decía, que los refugiados de Skalice no se llevan bien con la gente de Rataje.
What do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my betters. But this mess isn't good for business. Them two brothers should sort things out between themselves without dragging us into it. I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from Hungary has gone too far.
Do you know anything about those Cumans?
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own two eyes what they're capable of.
That's all.
Muy bien, pues creo que de momento lo dejaremos aquí. Podría apostar en el torneo, pero me parece que aún es pronto para preocuparnos del torneo. Vamos a dejarlo aquí. Y como el vídeo también está ya quedando largo, pues lo dejaremos aquí. Creo que en el siguiente vídeo, bueno, hemos completado esta misión del molinero, por lo tanto tenemos que ir a hablar con el capitán Bernard para que nos empiece a entrenar. Así que creo que esto será el objetivo para el próximo vídeo. En fin, espero que os esté gustando la historia de este juego y nos vemos con más en el siguiente. Hasta pronto.